Hey, how y'all doing? This is Hunt 919 Truth to Sports coming to you again with another segment. Like to say what's up. I know it's been a while since I posted, took some time off from it, but just to let you know, I have been working while I was not posting. I went to a lot of women's basketball games, a lot of women's sports, just to give myself, some content to talk about and more in depth. And I also got some interviews set up with some women athletes. Some of them are track athletes, things that you're not used to hearing, and you're going to get their perspective from things as far as them being athletes and excelling in the classroom and on the track. So listen out for that. But let me go ahead and get into it. This is one of the segments that I do that my channel likes. It's called the ex Colorado Buff Updates, where I follow some of the ex Colorado Buffs that I start liking. Then obviously they transfer to other schools, and I still like to follow them and give a weekly update during the season of how they doing. But this one is an update on Tavarius Dawson. I don't know if you all remember him, but back in 2022, he actually started out as a four-star athlete, and he played for the Auburn Tigers, as I said, in 2022, where he only had 2 catches for 30 yards and 0 touchdowns. So in 2023, he transfers, to Coach Prime, where he ended up with 14 catches, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown came against Nebraska on the fake. It was a very good play on the fake reverse play. He ended up taking the pitch and running in for a touchdown, which ended up putting him up 29-7, I believe, against Nebraska. And they ended up playing. That was a big time game on television, and to be the big time opponent in Nebraska. And I actually thought, he was a very good receiver just from watching him in the limited time that he played. But for whatever reason, he ended up getting dismissed from Colorado. There was a lot of controversy behind that. It is what it is. We'll leave that where it is. So he ended up transferring to Jacksonville State. And when he transferred to Jacksonville State, which is in Conference USA, I definitely kept up with him. Like I said, I try to keep up with him weekly. But for the most part, he wasn't even. He was on the roster, but he was not in any of the stats or anything. Like, he wasn't even getting into the games. But he only ended up with 1 catch for 16 yards for the whole season. So he really didn't play, really no production to talk about. But his team was very good. They finished 7-1 last year. They finished first place in their conference, even though they lost in their bowl game to Ohio. It was 30-27. It was a very good game. It was a lot of scoring, obviously highly competitive. But Jacksonville State has a very good team. So that didn't work for him. And so now just found out not too long ago that he's transferred to Florida International, which is in the same conference. They finished 3-5 last year, so he's probably looking at that like he can go down there and play. The leading receiver did have over 1,000 yards at their school last year. I'm not really sure if he's gone because all these transfer rules, and with some of these kids getting an extra year. When it says senior or whatever, I don't know if they still have another year. Sometimes with it being so early, the roster could change. But as of right now, I don't know where that leading receiver is that had 1,000 yards for them last year, but he will be there. I did look it up, and they did pass at 5 different receivers last year, so it looks like the quarterback will spread the ball around. They did throw for over 2,700 yards last year, so again, that may be a good spot for him because they're going to throw the ball around. And again, with some of these coaches taking some of these guys who haven't really played, like Alton McCaskill, who's been, I think, since 2022, he hadn't really played, and he's transferring, to Sam Houston. And then you got this kid, you got Tavarius Dawson, who hasn't really played since 2022. And when a coach takes you, I'm hoping they're taking him because they really want to give him an opportunity to play. His time is obviously running out, and I don't know if it's his attitude, any of the kids, I really don't know, but somebody need to let him play. Don't take a kid this late in his career if you're not going to let him play. So I'm going to keep an eye on it for you all and for the channel. We'll see how he does on a weekly basis, and hopefully he has a good season. So it is what it is. It's been Hunt 919 Truth to Sports. Ride with me. It's been Hunt 919 Truth to Sports. Ride with me.